Hey everyone, so now that we've covered the basics of editing in Lightroom, I want to get a little bit more advanced. I'm going to go over dodging and burning in Lightroom. So there's a lot of different ways to do dodging and burning, and there's a lot of different uses for dodging and burning. For my food photography, the majority of my dodging and burning isn't done to fix imperfections and blemishes, but rather it's to add 3D depth and contrast to the image. So dodging an image is lightening the image, and burning the image is darkening the image. If we are in Adobe Lightroom, we can go to our selective edits panel for our brush tool, and you will see there is an option called dodge. Dodge is lightening, so it's going to bring up the exposure. The default setting here is 0.50, which is a little bit too much for me typically speaking, so I'm just going to go to 0.15 or 0.14, 0.15. There we go. And I'm going to grab a small brush. I'm going to pick some areas of this image that I want to lighten up. So I'm going to do it a lot like you do, say, makeup on the face. So you're going to brighten areas that should be brighter. I'm going to darken areas that should be darker. So things that should be brighter are things that are up a little bit higher, or things that aren't getting light that you need to have more light on. So these blueberries here need to have a little bit more light. I want to brighten up the bright part of this lemon here. I'm going to brighten up this orange. So I'm just going to go through real quick and add some brightness in areas that I think it needs it. I'm going to do this with a pretty big brush on parts, and it's going to be pretty small in other parts, and it's going to be a really soft brush. The feather is going to be at 100%. So let's see. I'm just going to brighten a little here. Go here. Going to brighten a little. Going to go a pretty big brush here to bring up those blueberries. Going to bring up the face here a little bit here. And I do just a little bit of a pop on all of these raspberries and blackberries. Just kind of bring a little bit more 3D depth into this. A lot of times I want to feel this edit more than I really see it. If you start to see it a lot, it starts to look unnatural. We're just looking for a little 3D depth, a little pop to the image. I'm not looking for a major change to my image. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the backslash key so we can see a before and after of everything we've done so far. And we see that overall, I'd say we've made some really nice changes. So the next thing I'm going to go do is I'm going to now dodge, or actually burn. Sorry, I just dodged, so we're going to burn now. So we can go down, and we can pick this burn effect from Lightroom's default menu. And again, it goes a little bit too far, so it says minus 0.5, so that's minus half a stop. I'm going to go to minus 0.15. And that's just going to help me darken down the edges just a little bit. So I'm going to take that brush, I'm going to darken down the edges of most everything here. And it's just going to add a little bit more of that 3D effect that helps make our images pop off the page. And I might take some larger areas and burn them down just to give it a little bit more contrast. So everyone's going to do dodge and burn a little bit differently, and this is just one of the ways to do it. The majority of the time, I'm probably not actually going to be doing my dodge and burn edits in Lightroom. Typically, I'd like to take my images into Photoshop to do this, but as a quick and effective tool, Lightroom is a good way to start learning how to do this. In Photoshop, we have a little bit more control over how we dodge and burn, a little bit more control over our mask than we do here in Lightroom. But a lot of people really like the Lightroom workflow, so I'm going to show it to you here too. All right, we're just about done. If I was actually doing this for a client, I'd probably spend a lot more time doing this. Then we're just going to darken down all of the edges here real quick. So it looks something like that. Now we're going to hit that backslash key again to see if we've made good changes. And we can see that the image has a lot more 3D pop, a lot more punch now. And I think we're in a really good place.